Well, I've got your energy stories for the first week of February 2022. Well, let's start with batteries, and for a moment we'll focus on the grid. Vistra is expanding its Moss Landing energy storage facility in California, already the largest battery storage project in the world, taking it from 400 megawatts and 1,600 megawatt hours to 750 megawatts and 3,000 megawatt hours now. Vistra indicated it has entered into a 15-year resource adequacy contract with Pacific Gas and Electric for that added capacity. With additional planned phases, this project could eventually reach 1,500 megawatts and 6,000 megawatt hours. And that's by no means the only energy storage project in PG&E's territory. The utility said last week it had agreed to install 9 new battery projects in an initiative to replace a retiring nuclear power plant and further decarbonize the grid. The projects totaled 1,600 megawatts of capacity, doesn't give the duration on those, and brings the total capacity to over 3,300 megawatts by 2024 in PG&E service territory. The supply agreements are with storage developers including subsidiaries of NextEra, Terragen, and Vistra Corporation. As far as battery supplies go, well, not surprisingly, they continue to expand, especially for EVs. And out of China, battery manufacturer CALB, China Lithium Battery Technology, just signed agreements with 2 Chinese cities for new battery production facilities, each at 50 gigawatt hours. The cell chemistries weren't specified, but today CALB has 7 production sites in China with a planned capacity of 200 gigawatt hours by the end of 2022. It recently also announced plans to expand production to a total of 500 gigawatt hours by 2025 and 1,000 gigawatt hours by 2030, with a factory in Europe also in play. Of course, we're going to need to charge all those electric vehicles, and there's an interesting push continuing the battery swap model, with China leading the way. Unlike the US and most of Europe, where we have stationary charging stations where people plug in, here the model is you drive into the box, the battery is unscrewed from the bottom, and essentially a new cartridge is replaced. And Chinese car company Geely just set up a joint venture with Lifan Technology, an EV OEM that it controls, to create a battery swap ecosystem for electric cars in China, with the first compatible car to be launched in February. Geely had already announced a similar JV with Chongqing Rilan Automotive Technology Company last year. Each of these JVs is eyeing a target of 5,000 swap stations. In the maritime shipping sector, several of those little hydrogen atoms will be joining with nitrogen to power ships, if the Nordic Green Ammonia-powered ship initiative, the NoGaps Initiative, has its way. Funded by shipping giant Maersk and a consortium of other companies, the idea was to explore the use of ammonia, NH3, it's all about clean hydrogen, as a decarbonized shipping fuel. Now it's moving into a 2-year phase to develop a detailed ammonia-powered ship design, focusing on safety, optimal sizing, location of fuel tanks, and energy efficiency, with the ship eventually developed called the MS NoGaps. The medium-term goal, 2024-2025, is to have the MS NoGaps operating by that date and eventually leading to development of infrastructure and business models for ammonia-powered shipping in the Nordic region. And finally, for the future may be coming at us faster than we think story, consider this. Boeing just plunked down another $450 million in Wisk Aero, the JV between Kitty Hawk and Boeing, to develop electric vertical takeoff and landing eVTOL aerial taxis. The funds will continue the development of Wisk's 6th generation eVTOL and support preparations for the start of series production. Within 5 years of certification of the aircraft, Wisk intends to operate one of the industry's largest fleets of autonomous vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. George Jetson, indeed. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.